touch me.
Listen to them. Every night, the same racket. It would have been different with the Goslers.
With 2 children and a baby on the way. We've been over this, Edith. If the baby had cried, what then? It would have given us all away. This was no place for a woman as pregnant as she was.
At least I could have taken care of her. I still can't believe it. Mother and baby both dead.
Mother, don't.
It would have been different if I had been there to help.
You don't know that, Edith.
That's just it, Otto. I will never know.
You have to try not to think of things outside these walls. It's hard, I know. But we can't be responsible for everyone. Just for ourselves.
You mustn't do that.
I can't help it. I like watching people. Sometimes I make up stories for them, imagining what their lives are like. What ours would be like if... Margot, don't I look different to you?
Different? Anne, have you...
I wanted it to be my own sweet little secret for a while. I've only told Beck. She fetched some things from the chemist for me. I'm happy for you, really. If only people would just stop treating me like a child.
Do you think they have Jewish schools in Switzerland?
Of course they do. But there aren't any Germans to force you to go there.
I still can't believe she left her shoes behind. She was so proud of them, remember? You really saw them?
Right on the floor. Like she's just kicked them off.
Did you see the diary? It was gone.
But we looked.
I'm sorry, my wife. They took her away last night.
sent you this.
You've seen Fritz. Can't you even tell me where he is?
I don't know.
See that he gets this.
Of course.
Thank you. You're so kind. Tell him I love him. That I'll wait.
Damn you, you beasts!
And with disasters far more bloody than anything we have experienced so far in this. But in the end, all the oppositions fell together, and all our foes submitted.
I can't stand to hear that man. Half the time I don't even know what he's saying. This is not the end. It is possibly the beginning of the end, and it is certainly the end of the beginning. Now, do you know what that means, Mr. Frank? If you ask me, the British should spend more time bombing Germany, less time drinking tea.
Oh, shut up already. Stop messing around. Fix it. Every time you try to fix something, it only gets worse.
The Americans, Otto. Why don't they come? Why do they take so long?
They got their hands full fighting the Japanese. You mustn't despair, Edith. The invasion will come. They'll be here soon.
Yes, but will we?
Daddy, will you please ask Mr. Pfeffer why he thinks it's so unreasonable of me to insist upon me being able to use my own desk?
I have important work to do. Work, you understand? And besides, there are other places you can go. This writing of yours, you could do it in the attic, perhaps. It's only a diary, after all. A childish pastime.
Childish?
Now, you needn't argue. What I propose is this. Anne should have the desk, say, twice a week, from 4 in the afternoon until 5:30, and Mr. Pfeffer may use it the rest of the time.
But Pim...
Are we agreed? We all have to make small sacrifices, Anne.
You mean me? I have to make the sacrifices, and it isn't small. I'm not a little girl anymore.
Mr. Pfeffer has a right to the desk.
And don't I have rights? I work just as hard as anybody else here. I just don't want that man pouring through my private thoughts.
That's easily remedied, I should think. I have it. Here. This will keep your diary safe from prying eyes.
Thank you, Daddy.
My little woman.
Pardon me?
Oh. Never let it be said that Anne Frank failed in her so-called studies on my account.
Thank you.
Listen, there's a British planes. They're coming to save up.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Beat the captain!
What are you doing?
Not everyone here is an ex-soldier.
This is my partner, Mr. Kleiman.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
Our indispensable Meep.
Hello.
And Beb.
Nice to meet you.
This is Mr. Van Maren. He'll be taking over as foreman. At least until Beb's father feels well enough to return.
Well, I'm not much for talk. But if it's a hard worker you're looking for, I'm your man.
Fine. Show Mr. Van Maren the storeroom, please, Beb.
I'll do it.
Our salesmen give their orders to Bep once a week. Everything you need to fill your orders is right here. We have 2 kinds of Pectacon products, spices and jams.
Well, this would fetch a pretty penny on the black market.
Wouldn't know about that. Your office is going to be in here.
What's this blue paint for?
Oh, that's to keep the spices out of the light.
What does Meep think?
She doesn't trust him. She thinks he's a thief.
A thief? Ah, she's very protective.
Shelling peas is so boring. I could never be a housewife. It's like being in prison.
It's only temporary. Your father would be back soon enough. I'm sure of it.
No. They say it's cancer.
So much suffering in the world.
Is that all you can say, Mother? It will only make matters worse. Honestly, I don't know how you could be so thick sometimes.
Anne, that's no way to talk to your mother.
Don't listen to them, Beb. You know what I do? When things get difficult? I go upstairs. There's a window in the attic where you can see the old chestnut tree in the yard. It's the most wonderful branches. And when they're in full bloom, it's beautiful. When I look out, I feel better, somehow. It makes me wonder if God is a lot closer than most people think.
Did you read that in one of your books? Such a font of knowledge you've become.
I suppose I'm just hopeless. Excuse me.
Don't you think you should apologize to your mother?
She could be such a trial sometimes.
You're quite a trial yourself.
So people keep reminding me.
It's only natural for a girl, and I mean a young woman of your age to...
Stop! I don't want to hear that I'm like all other girls. I'm not. I'm me. Anne Frank.
Anne, your mother's your staunchest defender. I've heard her with Mrs. Van Powell. She's your friend.
I don't want her to be a friend. I need her to be a mother. Someone I can look up to set an example.
Your mother's a kind, generous woman. She's a dutiful wife. She's borne a great deal without complaint.
You always take her side. But I've seen the way you kiss her. You kiss her the same way you kiss me and Margot. I think even you're not in love with her.
Never say that. You wouldn't want me to take away your diary, would you?
Daddy, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I can't help the way I feel. Mummy and I, we're so different. We're like night and day. She doesn't understand anything about me.
Have you tried to understand her?
fallen asleep. How long have you been watching me?
I've just come up. Honest. Beans in the storeroom. Everyone's gone now, so it's safe to bring them up.
What do you think you're doing?
What's in that building back there?
It does not belong to us.
Is that right?
You are supposed to be at lunch. Get out. Go.
Send die Hunde her!
Ja, es gibt Juden hier.
Raus, Juden! Ihr habt 5 Minuten Zeit!
Kugler's records are getting sloppy.
The curtains in the front office. They're open again.
They're always open on weekends, Mr. Pfeffer.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. And tell me, how am I to collect any papers? Surely no one will see.
That's how it starts. No one will see, no one will hear, no one will pay any attention. Then what?
Hello, Peter.
Hi. Did you bring the bread? Give me the keys, I'll do it myself. And get rid of that cat. You look ridiculous. Like you're wearing one of your mother's precious furs. Dummkopf.
I think it's beastly the way he treats you.
Oh, don't mind him. He gets like that when he hasn't had his cigarettes. I like it when you smile.
Really?
It sort of makes your eyes sparkle. They're pretty eyes.
No, I'm not pretty.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Well, you'll just have to believe me then.
I was wondering where that had got to. Thank you.
So it's your wallet then, is it?
I've just told you.
You were in the warehouse last night?
That's right.
Why?
I don't have to explain myself to you.
Didn't a certain Mr. Frank work here in the office at one time? A Jew?
What's that got to do with anything?
What happened to him?
He disappeared.
Disappeared?
That's right. Now, if you'll excuse me. If it's a reward you're looking for, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, I got my reward all right. Somebody living in that building behind us. I know it.
My wife cleans the offices. If there were people hiding, she'd know it. She thought she saw something once, but he turned out to be a salesman.
Everybody's hiding somebody these days. What bothers me is that they may be Jews. Could be bad for all of us.
You think Kugler's in on it?
Kugler. Kugler's a liar. I know that already. The whole bunch in the office is always sneaking around. Kleiman says he has to go to the storeroom. The secretary is always checking records. And the other one, that Miep, something about her I don't like. She's shifty, that one.
What can you do?
Firing for Maren could be dangerous. If he suspects something, there is a chance he could go to the Gestapo. The reward for Jews has gone up to 25 guilders a head.
On the other hand, if the fellow's stealing, he's got something to hide as well.
Yes, I think you're right. We have to be more cautious from now on, all of us.
That was our last 100 guilders. What are we to do for money now?
One of those fancy dresses of yours should be worth something.
I'd like to see you try.
Stop being a ninny.
And don't speak to me that way. Whose fault is it we're in this pickle? Certainly not mine.
Would you please stop arguing? You're like two magpies, always bickering.
And I don't see you offering to help.
Please, everyone. Accusations accomplish nothing.
We're left to fend for ourselves while you keep all the money from the business. Don't you think my Curly deserves a share of that money? Where would you all be without his precious nose? I tell you, still making jam.
See, I told you we should have taken in the Goslars.
Oh, Edith, please.
Is that so?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Mr. Pfeffer, would you mind waiting a moment? Would you please convey this to Mr. Van Pels? Tell him I await a response.
Oh, yes, of course.
If Mrs. Frank wants her linen back, she can have all of it. I've never really cared for it. To be honest, I've always found it rather shabby, haven't you? And from now on, they can use their own china. See how they like that. Thank you, Mr. Pfeffer.
Very well.
Be sure to put that in the letter.
All right.
It'll teach them to put on airs.
Mr. Pfeffer, would you please ask Mr. Van Pels to pass the salt?
At least it was one of theirs this time.
Peter, get up here.
It's all right. You shouldn't get into trouble on my account.
What do you think you're doing? Sit down.
Look at yourselves. You're supposed to know better. How do you think it makes us feel? Me, Peter, and Margot, to see you behaving this way. A fine example you're setting.
She's right, you know. There's absolutely no place for pettiness. Give me your plate. Would you like soup or porridge?
Porridge, please.
Mr. Pfeffer, would you be so kind as to pass this porridge to Mr. Van Pels?
Mr. Frank?
Mr. Van Pels.
Have some vegetables, Margot. Here's a joke for you, Anne. What has 4 legs and flies?
Tell me.
A horse.
What do you mean, a horse?
A horse.
A horse can't fly.
A horse that's with the flies at the tail.
Oh, don't be disgusting.
Come on, Putty.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
A horse with flies at the tail.
the whole of Western Germany is to be blacked out until further notice. Night rains have already caused severe damage, and President Roosevelt has repeated his request that Allied planes refrain from bombing civilians and unfortified towns.
Look how fast I'm growing, Daddy.
'Mother says you should drink this.
Such a bother having the flu. I'm afraid to cough for fear someone might hear.
I like the bells.
I like to hear that there is life waiting for us. Margot, what do you miss most about outside?
I don't know. So many things.
I long for everything. I've decided something.
What?
After the war, I'm going to live. I'm going to travel. Study languages. Go to Paris or London. Study history. I love history.
It sounds romantic.
You think I'm too extravagant?
No. I've been thinking too. I've been reading about Palestine. I'd like to see it. Maybe be a nurse there.
It's going to be different for us. We're going to be modern women.
This is very kind of you, Meep.
I wish there were more. There are not enough ration coupons.
You don't need ration coupons for this.
The supplier, understandably, wishes to remain anonymous.
Thank you very much.
Victory.
Thank you, Mr. Penn.
You're welcome. You've no idea what it's like for me and Mrs. Skis. No one has any sympathy. Least of all that girl. They have each other, you see. I have no one. Only Charlotte.
Oh, thank you, my darling.
Did she give you anything? Oh, thank you. And Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Anne, I have something for you.
Oh, Meep, they're beautiful.
Oh.
I've never had high heels before.
Oh, I hope they fit. Here.
They fit, they fit.
They do? Wonderful. Oh, let me see you walk. Here. What a beautiful young lady you've become.
Do you really think so?
I do.
It isn't easy for me to always look my best. Peter thinks I'm sweet, though. He told me so. He said he liked my smile.
You have a lovely smile.
Meep, when you met Jan, did you know?
No? Oh, yes. I think I did.
When?
When he kissed me. Does Peter?
Oh, no. I keep wanting him to, though. But I'm trying to be a lady about it.
He will. How could he resist?
Oh, look at Yes.
Red shoes.
Meep.
What you doing?
Putti.
Curly, no.
Wait! Meep, how much do you think something like this would fetch?
Mr. Kleiman has a furrier friend. We can ask him. He just wants money for bloody cigarettes.
You think food is cheap?
Curly, you sold everything else, my best dresses and jewelry. Let me keep this at least.
Enough, Putti. Anything you can do, Meep.
You see what it's come to, Mrs. Frank. I won't have any fine things left. How am I going to face people after?
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas.
Must you go, Meep? Oh, Diana's waiting. Just a little longer, please.
You hear how they all talk? After the war. I say nothing. What could I say to them? Mrs. Van Pels. Everything a crisis. Was she to criticize the things she says about the children? The children. Anne. Margot. Otto says we must be hopeful. Hopeful for what?
You mustn't think such things.
I know I have to be strong. But for how much longer? If only this waiting would end. At least I could be certain. Meep, we're not going to make it. It will have a bad end. I'm sure of it now. It doesn't matter for me. But the children... Children, Meep, what's to become of the children?
Help me. Help me. Anna, please. Help me. Anna.
Him. I saw her.
Who?
Hannah. So awful. The way she looked at me. I was so mean to her sometimes, and now there's nothing I can do to help. Oh, Hannah, you can.
Just a bad dream.
I hate them. The Germans. They won't stop until they've killed all the Jews, will they? I wish all the Germans were dead.
Anne, listen to me. You must never think like that. There are good and bad people everywhere. It makes no difference where they come from. What about Meep and Mr. Kugler? They're Austrian, just like Hitler. You want them to die as well.
Oh.
And don't forget, we are German.
No. We're Dutch, aren't we, Margot?
Of course we are.
I don't want to be German. Not ever.
Here, take your valerian. It will make you feel better.
No. Pim, let me sleep here tonight, please.
That's my girl.
Frank, you couldn't run down. Could you just look at something for me, please?
Oh, I'm desperate for a smoke. Maybe Kugler forgot some cigarettes in the office.
I join you.
Police are coming.
I need the toilet. Well, I'll have to wait. You just have to hold it, Margot. For Queen and country. Freedom, truth, and right.
This is no time for insolence.
What about the radio? They're going to find the radio.
Idiot.
What difference does the radio make if they find us?
I still feel your heart beating.
I thought we were lost. I could see the Gestapo taking us away.
We're safe now. Meep. Mr. Kleiman will be here soon.
I prayed. Did you? I wouldn't have blamed God if he didn't listen. I never used to give him a thought. But he was watching us. I know it. He's always watching the Jews. He always will. Look. I'm glad we're here. Together.
Me too.
Listen, Peter. Aren't they beautiful? They're telling us things are going to be all right.
Sure. I must complain in the strongest possible terms about the new security measures.
I'm sorry, Mr. Pfeffer, but downstairs is off limits until further notice, except for those with responsibilities.
You can't keep us prisoners in this attic, Mr. Frank.
We are prisoners, Mr. Pfeffer. None of us can afford another encounter like the last one.
Now, see here.
It's been decided.
Not by me.
If the Allies knew about Mr. Pfeffer, maybe they'd be here already.
We go.
And if we're not very careful, there's going to be a wedding on our hands.
Do you know what this is, Hartog? If you have mice, you need a trap. I know where they're hiding.
This is Armed Forces Radio. Today is the day. Today is D-Day. At 0630 hours, Allied forces under the command of General Dwight D. Eisenhower landed on beaches throughout Normandy. Fighting is heavy, but victory is assured. To the people of Western Europe, we say, be strong, have faith, stand firm. 1944 will be the year of your liberation.
My girls, we made it.
Just think of it, Anne. We'll be back in school in October. School.
Hello.
I know there's going to be a celebration later, right? But I just wanted to be the first to say it. So happy 15th birthday.
Oh, thank you, Peter. They're lovely.
Mate, you bought them for me. Cost me everything I had. And it's worth it to see you smile. What are you doing?
I can't believe I was so innocent when I wrote some of this. But I'm trying to make it better. I'm dreaming of turning it into a novel.
Does it have a title yet?
Maybe the unbosomings of an ugly duckling. Or the secret annex.
You must say something.
Why make trouble? That Marn won't say anything. He's got his reasons.
What about the neighbors? Maybe they've heard something. Pipes. People talking. God knows what.
I'm staying out of it.
They'll catch you. They'll find out you've been hiding from them. Why didn't you report when you were supposed to? Have you thought about what will happen?
Of course I've thought about it.
How long will you wait? Until the Gestapo comes to take you away? What shall I do then? Who cares about a bunch of Jews? They've got it coming to them anyway. It's our lives I'm talking about, Leonard.
It's fighting at Caen. According to the reports, won't be long now. Do you think it's such a good idea, you spending so much time in the attic? Don't you think you should do your homework in your room?
Daddy, you of all people know what Mr. Pfeffer's like.
Your father's trying to say that you're spending a little bit too much time with Peter.
I don't understand. Are we doing something wrong?
No. It's just, you encourage him a little too much, I think. You should set limits.
Don't you like him?
think he has potential, yes. This is the wrong environment for an infatuation, and I must say I'm not certain I approve of all the necking.
I hate that word.
Just don't take things too seriously. That's all we're asking.
I think I'm old enough now to make my own decisions. Besides, he likes my smile.
Well, that went well.
Ever since I was little, I used to think my parents had the perfect marriage. I can't remember ever once hearing them argue. Daddy even used to serve Mummy breakfast in bed.
Can you imagine my father doing that for my mother? Probably hit him with a tray. Or vice versa.
Mummy loves Daddy. I'm sure of that. But sometimes I think Daddy married her because he thought she would be a good wife. Do you see the difference? I asked Daddy about it once. You know what he said? Your mother's very dutiful. Dutiful. I want so much more than that.
I say, let the Nazis kill each other, less work for the British and the Russians.
This time next month, we'll be having our Shabbat meal in freedom.
This is not a meal, this is garbage.
Your people could be doing more for us.
Mr. Feather, how could you say something like that?
Have you thought about what would happen if meat were caught with one of your little packages from Charlotte?
Now you even begrudge me my Charlotte. And you think you're the only lonely person in the world.
Yes, those in glass houses.
What's that supposed to mean?
This modern household of yours.
It's the same argument over and over again.
Some people never learn.
You could afford to take some lessons, too. You're selfish, you're hysterical, and you're pushy.
I am not pushy.
As if you were some ideal mother. You can't even control your own son.
Wait a
It's
minute.
a wonder we...
Wait a minute.
Just please be quiet.
Sit down.
You stop telling me what to do.
Somebody's been a bad influence.
I'm proud of you.
I suppose I just finally had enough.
It's a beautiful story.
Do you really think so?
Everyone would be amazed to know that you had this in you.
People would just think I was being silly. Or worse. Margot, do you remember the stories Daddy used to tell us? About the two Paulas?
Of course. Good Paula and bad Paula.
Everyone expects me to be bad Paula, so I try not to disappoint them. Good Paula's just for me. I keep her here. I don't let her out in public.
Well, why not show them who you really are?
Good Paula's not strong enough. She hides and lets bad Paula do the talking. Except in my diary.
Well, whichever one of you wrote this, I think it's very fine. You know, you are old enough to know by now that there's no harm in being yourself.
I try, Margot. Really, I do. It's just other people keep getting in the way.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Just a second. Hello?
I have information.
Information? Information about what?
About some Jews. At 263 Prinzgracht. Somewhere in the back building.
Kenya. Nairobi. Hungary. Budapest.
Where's the boss?
Upstairs.
Don't move! Don't even flinch. Frisker!
Against the wall!
You've been denounced.
All right, Drew, let's go!
Heroes, those who foretell the future.
Now show us what's behind that bookcase.
What's Norway? Oslo?
Stop him.
Keiner oben, zwei unten. Ich will sie alle in diesem Raum. Let's go!
Right, get up, get up! They're in here!
Hands up. Take them down! Move! Hier oben, alles in Ordnung. Quickly, quickly!
Move!
That's it.
Money. Valuables.
You'll find a strong box in the closet.
Go get it. Stop packing. You've got 5 minutes.
Listen to me. I want you to go to my house, tell my wife what's happening, and don't come back.
Yes.
Go now. There's no guard.
Okay.
There's still time. You can go too.
No, I stay.
It's all right, Mr. Pfeffer. I'll see you again soon.
What's in this trunk?
Nothing of any value, not to you. Memories.
This is a soldier's trunk. Where did you get it?
It's mine. Yes, I was a reserve officer in the First World War.
But why didn't you register as a veteran? You would have been sent to Theresienstadt. You would have been treated decently. Take your time, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Genug.
Reicht!
Raus. Finish your packing. You, in here.
Mate, see that you stay out of it. Salvage what you can.
Das ist eine unglaubliche Schweinerei!
The Gestapo's here. Get rid of this. I think he's from Vienna. Go, go, go.
I'm ready, Pen.
So you have nothing to say? Either one of you?
No, nothing.
Well, now it's your turn.
You're from Vienna. So am I. I heard it right away.
Papers. You get out. Keys. Like the name on the business, yes? Strange that your husband isn't here. Have you no shame? What am I going to do with you? It's unglaublich. It's unglaublich! As far as I'm concerned, you can stay here and rot. Consider it a personal favor. But if you leave, we'll seize your husband.
You keep your hands off my husband. He has nothing to do with this. It's my affair.
Don't be stupid. You're both in this up to your necks. I'll be back to check on you. God help you if you're not here.